here in the woods at Kentuck, one of the houses built by Frank Lloyd Wright. I'm here with my dear friends, the Tidies, and their extended family, and my wife Sue and my youngest child Caden, and I've fallen behind the rest of the group because I've been so busy taking photos out here of the different sculptures and trees and stuff, and it's become clear to me these last few weeks and months that God made me to be a storyteller and to bring people's stories to life with all the dignity and grandeur and beauty and pain that they contain. And there's just something about this space that's calling to me, and these friends I've known for so many years whom I love so dearly. And, I came out on this vacation to spend time with them, and I'm loving spending time with them, but there's just something about being here in this space that's incredible. It's also a little bit ridiculous. I mean, these people had crazy sums of money. The tour guide inside the Kentuck Knob house was talking about how they were trying to save a little bit of money and making choices to economize a little bit as they were negotiating with Frank Lloyd Wright around the parameters of how the house was going to be constructed, something in the kitchen where they went with the slightly less expensive option. And I said, oh, they're trying to do this on the cheap. I'd hate to see the house they would have gotten if they'd gone all out. I mean, the place is incredible and cost something like $60,000 or $90,000 in 1950s dollars, which, is something amazing today. What is it that makes people want to buy so much land and get away from other people? Because that's got to be part of the deal here, right? I mean, there's no way everybody can have this much space, and so you're just, man. The person who actually owns the Kentuck Knob house now is Lord somebody from England, who does occasionally come into town, and he and his family use Kentuck Knob at night after the guests have done touring through. But I mean, what would it be like to own this place and you're never even here? I wonder what Frank Lloyd Wright's story is. What is it that made him want to build all these things? What is it that made him so insistent about some of the details so that even the clients who were commissioning it or the assistants who were helping make sure that structurally some of his greatest masterpieces could live a long, long time after him, he would just ignore them. He'd become furious with them. What is his deal? And the story of the people who had this place built. What was it they thought of as the good life? What is it about me that I'm always inclined to joke that palaces and big acres of wood like this are nice, but that they don't hold a candle to our house back in Pittsburgh? story always starts somewhere. And yet it can be told in so many ways. You don't always have to actually start at the beginning. Michael Warren, Irish, untitled, Irish oak and welded steel. And it goes way the heck up there. It's my lovely wife Sue in the green shirt. This is a formal or informal seat. A little Stonehenge action going there. Create something totem power. Ah, Berlin Wall section. Acquired 1990. Well, that makes more sense. That must have taken some doing to get this thing shipped out here. A week ago, my career development mentoring podcast got released at work, and I found myself listening to certain parts of it over and over again. I think part of it is that I'm tickled pink by the fact that it finally came out, and so many people have listened to it and enjoyed it, and some folks have written in and said some really touching things. But I think part of it, too, is that it features the voices of people who are my mentors, folks who have been with me in my darkest hours, held my hand, given me a shoulder to cry on, listened and gave advice, and have been very patient with me. And listening to it, hearing the voices of all those different people, it's kind of like a blessing or therapy or something. Just, I hear those folks' voices, one layered over the other with the music behind it, and me talking about how great they are, and then being so encouraging, and I just feel very calm. I like how I feel when I hear them talk. And full disclosure, I love hearing my own voice also, especially when I've put together something that's actually pretty good. A lot of times, though, I'm just kind of... There's something... This has been true of me for a while. I'll send emails, and then I'll read the emails I sent after I sent them, just looking at it. Like, I made that. And the words just sort of tumble over each other and flow, and there's something about it that just feels very powerful. There's something about this stone thingy that feels very strange, and while I can get my cell phone camera through the middle of it, I've actually got to squeeze my body through sideways to get in here. I gotta say, this thing's pretty cool. It makes me think of every kid's secret fort I've ever been in, all the stuff I played in with my friends as a kid. We could only dream about having something as cool as this. If you were trying to do a capture the flag or snowball fight thing or something, this feels like it might be pretty amazing. Very defendable, at least in some ways. And trees going in the middle of it, no less. How about that? So many of the old poets were just completely enchanted by the woods. You had Wordsworth, I think, and Walden, Frost. It's not hard to see why. I debated whether to bring my laptop on this trip. I thought maybe if I was being really, really good, I might get up early or sneak in some alone time and do some writing. I ultimately concluded, you know what? This is a reunion vacation with friends, camping. Bringing a laptop kind of ruins the point, but in some ways, doing this narrated video feels better, actually. And I did leave the laptop at home, with no regrets. There's hardly enough room in our cabin to change our mind anyway. Laptop would be just one more piece of clutter in there. Ooh, there's a little lake thing down there. Ooh, there's a big Statue of a turtle or tortoise or something down there. It's a piece of art. It's a big one, too. Look at them snappers. Wendy Taylor, British Troilus, 1999. Made out of bronze. Not that it matters, but yes. Same pond, now much closer. Doesn't feel like a pond would naturally be here. This doesn't seem big enough. Nothing's feeding it. I wonder how it hasn't evaporated yet, but at the same time, I don't know. And then there's the question of, dude, must be a breeding ground for mosquitoes. There's a pleasant thought. Ooh. And then there's something over here. More art in the water. So if you ever go to Falling Water, you'll find there's this very strong theme running with the various pieces of art. The folks here have very strong thoughts about the ways in which you ought to interact with that art, and those thoughts can be summed up in 3 little words. Do not touch. And I get it. I do, but who's going to wade into the middle of this pond to touch those things? Of course, the answer is you bring enough people out here and somebody would. Huh. Huh. Apparently, somebody has engineered that this pool is only going to get so full before it tries to drain down there. It's a matter of design. Design and time and land and lots of money. Ooh. I see the red toll booth thingamathing rising out of the forest like an anachronism worthy of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. We may be stuck on prehistoric Earth, my friends, but this bad boy is going to allow us to directly make a telephone call right back into the future. Hold on a sec, though. Little detour to our left. Appears to be this wheeled monstrosity on a little segment of railroad track that's just like out here, you know? With a little roof over it, too. Fascinating. I'm positive that they don't want me to touch, but I am really, really curious as to what is in this box. I mean, there are clearly hinges here, which means this thing was designed to open. Clearly somebody has broken into this thing, and there's nothing in there. Ooh, a little keyhole? Check that out. A little bit of Russian. Huh. I'm amazed that there's actually not a sign out here saying don't touch this thing. I would think the rust alone would be a massive lawsuit waiting to happen, but what do I know? All right, as we were. Okay. So now we're apparently back at the main visitor center, except I thought there was going to be this big thing with this group of soldiers and stuff, red armies and whatnot, in the middle of the field. I remember that very strongly. Was that at Falling Water? Are these real? Are these functioning? These are not functioning. These are not functioning. These are artifacts. They're really cool artifacts. Wow. Woodland Path. This is a smoke-free property. Well, what do you know? All right, friends. I realize that you have a choice when it comes to running commentary on a video that more than likely nobody will ever see. But this was strangely worth it anyway. There's some serious plows. Cypress. Untitled, 9 poles. Yep, that's 9 poles, all right. They nailed that one. Seems to be some big, almost looks like some nightmare version of the Liberty Bell or something. Guess what? They don't want you to touch it. They said so very clearly. But you might ask, what is it? My guess is the title of this masterpiece is Metal Stuff in the Grass. Oh. September 10th. That was going to be my second guess. Huh. Oh, there's my beautiful wife. Once again. And there are those crazy birdhouses. Just up on poles, like nobody cares. Okay. This is Eric Randall signing off from the Visitor Center and Gift Shop Cafe at Kentuck.